My name is Justin Horde. I'm a lieutenant for the Pensacola Fire Department. I work at Pensacola International Airport on a crash truck. A typical day pretty much involves me coming in the morning, and the first thing I do is check out my apparatus, my crash truck. That involves pulling it out, pumping water out of all of the nozzles and filling it back up from a hydrant every morning, and making sure all the equipment on the truck is in order and good to go in case something were to happen. After that, we go inside and clean the station duties, and it's a fire station. It's also sort of a firehouse. We live here, so we eat breakfast, we sleep here, eat all our meals here. After breakfast time, it varies from day to day. Of course, we wait for a call. Hopefully we don't get a plane crash, but if we do, we're ready to respond. In the meantime, we train. We have specific training required by the FAA for crash trucks. I also have to stay current on structural firefighting training, along with medical training and specific safety training and training involving working specifically at an airport. If we were to get a call, this truck is equipped to pump water and drive at the same time. We carry 1,500 gallons of water, which is required by the FAA. And we have to respond anywhere in 3 minutes in the airfield, which is also required by the FAA. The stress level of this job I would describe as high. Most of the time it's very low, but you can go from 0 to 60 just in an instant. And over time, that can be sort of a stressful load on a person after a while. The first thing I would advise someone to do if they want to work in a crash crew at an airport is to become an entry-level firefighter at a fire department. After they gain some experience, they can become certified by the FAA to work at a crash crew at an airport. That certification involves training on a simulated airplane that shoots out fire, and requirement is to make entry and pull out a victim from the simulator. We have to use our trucks to put out the exterior fires of the aircraft. On top of that, there's training in airport familiarization, host streams, and entire checklist this essentially is ongoing training on top of initial training. On top of that, you have security clearances, you have special driver training for driving on the runways and taxiways, and various types of training with communicating with the FAA tower. The best part about being a firefighter is it's a lot of fun. We get to drive these big trucks around, we get to put a lot of water on fire, we get to run into dangerous situations that is really a lot of fun. It gets your adrenaline going, and it's exciting. There's really not a whole lot of dull moments whenever we're on a call. But the worst part of the job is the psychological toll it can take on you after a while. Whenever you're a new fireman, 18, 19, 20 years old, the things you see may not bother you because you're having fun and you're doing the job. But as you progress in life and you have a family of your own and wife and kids or whatever, the things you see may start to take a toll on you and bother you. And dealing with that appropriately is dealt with on an individual basis, but it's important to not bottle up the stress you develop. It's a reality that as you're a firefighter, you may see more tragedy in a single day than some people see in their entire life. On a house fire, there may be 2 or 3 victims. In a car accident, there may be 2 or 3 victims. But if a plane crash, you may have hundreds of victims. And it's quite a lot of stress to handle. The advice I would give to anyone thinking about becoming a firefighter is, number 1, you have to graduate high school or get a GED. Number 2, you have to stay out of trouble. You can't really have any kind of criminal record and work at a fire department, much less at an airport. Number 3 is become a certified firefighter, because that's the minimum standards to fight fire in any state. The last thing I would say is never stop learning. Is become an EMT, get a degree, go to school, do whatever it takes, but just don't stop learning.